Hello and welcome to the first lesson in our Ultimate 2.0 conveyor unloader. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about MBlock. And in this first lesson, we are just going to basically get into it and look at the basic functions so that you can complete your other lessons. So what I have done is I have logged into Google, or you can do probably any internet-based browser, and I'm going to type in MBlock. As you see, it pulls up, and this is very nice way of doing stuff. I am going to download MBlock, and depending on what computer you're doing, you may choose different things. So for instance, if let's say you're in a school and you have Chromebooks and they will not allow you to download it, you can always open the Chrome browser with code blocks, which is very simple to use. Typically, if you have a non-Chromebook, many people use a PC version. In my case, I am going to download it for Mac because I'm on my MacBook. And as always, they go through this different things, making sure that you're an actual human being and not an AI robot, which sometimes always finds very strange. But nonetheless, this is what we do. My task is now done, so I'm going to open up my downloads. If you have a MacBook, it should be fairly simple. PCs, you just open up the downloaded, and it'll ask you to run the setup. As you see, this is a fairly large file. It's 1 gigabyte. My advice would be to have good internet service, or if you prefer not to download anything, please just use off the Google Chrome extension. Now that I have it downloaded, open it up. This is probably one of the easier things to download and get ready. If you're having any issues, I would definitely check to see if maybe your computer is outdated or it's missing an extension. But if nothing else, I would highly advise to just go ahead and do the Chromebook extension and not have to download anything. It doesn't change anything. And as we pop up, we call this Mr. Panda. You'll see him in my instructions. This is our sprite. If you would like to, you can change your sprite. You have multiple variations. If you want to, you can actually upload a picture if you want to make it yourself. If you want to paint a picture, that's quite all right. I am going to keep with Mr. Panda, but let's say if I did want to, let's say I did an airplane. The airplane would just pop up right there, and we would just click on that, and we could toggle back and forth on what I'm coding. Since I'm just using Mr. Panda, I am going to cancel out my airplane and start. And I just want to show you a few basic functions with dealing with our sprite. The first function we're going to deal with is our event, and we're going to put when the flag is clicked. And not only when the flag is clicked, but also when I click my mouse, he will do something. For our purposes, and you'll see in the coding for your next lessons, I always will put him in a certain spot. And to do that, I do go to a certain area. In this case, it's negative 200, 150. And when I click, he goes up into the top corner. I highly advise when we're doing any type of movement, or you'll see in the next lesson, mazes, that we always put him there. Also, we want to make sure he's always facing the same direction. So in this case, we are going to make sure that he is always pointing in direction of 90. So what will happen is, and I'll show you, let's say I'm going to move him 200 steps, and it's 200 steps in the directions he's looking at. What will happen is I click, he goes there. If I take that off and click again, he goes back to where it was. And that's very key for us. We will need to learn that. If for some reason I have code, like for instance, I don't need this anymore, I'm going to click on it, hold it, and drag it over to delete. So this is our basic functions, nothing crazy. We will go over all these different things as we go through our lessons. There are certain things that are fun. I always advise you to go in and take a look at them as needed. Okay, that is our first lesson on how to start MBlock and basic sharing.